Most schools struggle with the challenge of diversity. They want to serve all kinds of students, but they often can't attract underrepresented minorities or fully involve them in the life of the school. Hi, I'm Jack Peterson with Managing for Mission. Managing for Mission specializes in administrative consulting for faith-based schools. To understand why our schools struggle to achieve their diversity goals, we have to answer some questions, and we have to answer them honestly. Why is diversity important? What do we mean by diversity? Why is it so difficult to achieve? And what's our real goal? First, why is this important to us? As faith-based schools, we're in the business of forming students with competence, conscience, and compassion. If our school were transplanted to the 1850s, we'd like to think that the education our students receive now would give them the intellectual clarity and the moral courage to recognize the evils of slavery. But the views we'd be educating against were deeply woven into the culture of the time, and opposing them would be as radical as anything we can conceive of today. The reason that diversity is important is that after hundreds of years and many generations of weaving, the racism on which slavery was founded is still woven into our culture. In cities we think of as diverse, people of color are still experiencing exclusion from opportunity. White people like me may not experience racism directly, but those whose skin is brown can experience it in some form on a daily basis. And it has a huge impact on who can access the rich opportunities that our schools can provide. So if we're serious about fostering diversity in our schools, we have to face the legacy of slavery, which is still alive today, even in our communities. Doing something about it will arouse deep feelings, including fear, resentment, guilt, and denial. The second question we have to answer honestly is, what does diversity mean to us? There are many kinds of diversity: economic, gender, academic, even geographical diversity with international students. As important as these are, the biggest challenge is racial diversity, including students whose families have been treated for centuries as second-class citizens, or to borrow Jesus' words, as the least of these. This is still the apostolic frontier for our schools, and at some point, we need to cross that frontier and make a commitment to doing things differently to get different results. We've talked about why diversity is important and what it means. Please watch the next part of this tutorial, in which we talk about why it is so difficult to achieve, what our goals are, and some practical steps our schools can take to move from diversity to inclusion.